everybody, it's Natasha from Big Rock Organics and welcome to week 3 of the CSA. Let's dive in. This week is all about roots and greens and roots. So we've got lots of fun, exciting things with lots and lots of greens. So be giving you some ideas for those greens as we go along here. So one of the new things, probably the biggest thing taking up space inside your box this week, so massive, are the Scarlet Queen turnips. So this is the first time we've grown these, and I thought they were just going to be small versions like the Kohlrabi turnips, and here they are a little bit larger. They have a tiny bit of a spicy kick, so not as much as a radish, but a little bit of spice, and so many greens. I mean, just look at those greens. So these were incredible, and they are just so beautiful to look at. So I did a nice little salad. I just julienned them, very thin matchsticks, and I tossed it with my favorite dressing for anything. I use this dressing for just about anything, and it's so good, and that is rice wine vinegar and sesame seed oil and a little bit of sugar and a little bit of red pepper flakes. And I just let it sit in there. We actually had a super easy macaroni and cheese meal with some shredded chicken, some bacon, some barbecue sauce, and then I put those little pickled turnips on there, and that was so delicious to have that little zing on the side. So any sort of like barbecue, having these little pickles on the side are great, and they'll last for a good week at least in the fridge that way. Now we do have a lot of roots coming up here, and if you're feeling overwhelmed by them, just cut them to about here and put them in the fridge. You want to store them in a plastic bag or container with a couple of dry paper towels in them, and they will keep really well for several weeks, very long. I mean, I'll go in there and find things that are several months old and they're still great. So this can be done with all of these roots. It can be done with things like radishes, kohlrabi, and beets and things like that. So you can enjoy them for weeks to come. Now the greens, of course, are all edible. You can saute them, you can juice them. There's all kinds of greens coming this week. And if you don't want to use the greens, no pressure, no judgment, but there are a lot of great edible greens this week as well. So I'll be posting a recipe for those yummy pickles that I mentioned. All right, we have so much kohlrabi. These are so good. I hope you're enjoying all the different colored kohlrabi. We've got that purple, the white, the green, and again, leaves are edible on these too. If you're planning to store these puppies store really nicely too. Just cut off, all the leaves, just cut them so you got these little stems. They're fine. Stick them in the fridge, and they make a great slaw. They make a great, just a dipping vegetable. So many yummy things. I've actually seen some recipes where people kind of swing and use them on the sweet side too. So we'll stick a few recipes and ideas in for that. But for these, they store really great. So just stick them in the fridge, forget about them, and you can enjoy those all season long. All right, last week for radishes. The radishes are kind of getting crazy, and they don't like the heat very much. So that's made the tops grow crazy and made them get kind of big, but they are still really delicious, crunchy, and flavorful. So last week for radishes for a while, we are going to be planting a fall crop of radishes. So if you're a radish fan, they'll be back. And we're also planting a fall Asian radish, which are really fun and colorful. And those guys will be coming later on in the season as well. So last week on radishes there, we try to maintain a seasonality for things. So you'll have them a little bit and then they might go away while other things come into the platform. So lots of fun stuff to explore. Okay, just another root vegetable, a new one that we're very excited about, of course, are beets. Now you might not be accustomed to seeing different colored beets. These are white beets here. They're called avalanche. They're white beets. So they're beet flavor, but you don't have to stain your hands, which is great. And they look really pretty on a dish. We've got some other colors in here too. So you're probably going to get a Chioggia. The ones that are kind of pink are a striped, like a bullseye beet, which are really fun. And I think we've got some reds in the mix as well. So you can cook them up. My favorite way is to roast them. So I roast them really hot with the skin on and all. When they're cooked, the skin will just slip out. You just take a paper towel and you just wipe the skin right off. It's so easy. And then I throw my, chopped up or sliced beets into a jar of pickle juice. Any pickle juice in the fridge will do. And I just chuck them into there, and it makes the most wonderful pickled beets. Super easy, and depending on what you have left over for pickled juice, you get a whole variety of flavors. So that's my favorite way. I love pickled beets. Now Riley, our farm volunteer, he's from Australia. They always have a beet slice on a hamburger or a cheeseburger. That's kind of fun and interesting. And a roasted beet salad is delicious with some goat cheese, pistachios, balsamic, all that. So delicious, so tasty. So very excited. We'll be welcoming beets for a few more weeks for sure. And of course, all those gorgeous greens are edible as well. And so those will make very similar to like a Swiss chard. You can cook them up and saute them, add them to different things, and they are all edible as well. So there's just a lot of greens there this week, but it's so wonderful to see such healthy tops, healthy greens. You know that there is a healthy root formed there when you've got such lush and healthy greens. And I will say that this season, I feel like we're such a fast track because of the warmer weather that we had early on. I would say we're a good 2 to 3 weeks ahead of where we normally are at. So it's really great to be seeing a lot of this stuff a lot earlier than we normally would. But things are growing really fast. We have water and irrigation on things, so that heat with the water that they're getting is just making things grow faster than we can keep up with. So it's been quite a picking season already. All right, another thing that we're bringing back this week is these gorgeous Napa cabbages. And same way, you want to store things in like a plastic bag or a plastic container in the fridge, a little paper towel in there to help take up some of that extra moisture. These will store wonderfully, so stick these in the back of your fridge if you've already got one in there, because they're going to store for a while. And these make just a wonderful slaw, a wonderful saute. You can even use the leaves. They're really easy to kind of like peel off one by one, and you can use that as like a little sandwich boat for any sort of non-gluten sandwich. So kind of fun, especially as you get towards the inside of the head. The leaves are small, so just some fun ideas for that Napa cabbage. Okie dokie, we have some curly kale this week. Curly kale, I love kale chips. This is something fun that you can do in the kitchen, get the kids involved. You just take and tear the kale into little pieces, put some olive oil, some pepper, put it in the oven, really hot. You want it to be like, I forget the temperature, 400, 425 or whatnot. And they're just gonna get crispy like a potato chip. And so it's my favorite way to eat kale. It's ridiculous, but I will just sit there and eat all the little kale chips right off the cookie sheet as they come out of the oven. And they're really good. So that's my favorite thing. So try that, kale chips, highly recommend it. We've got our peas this week. So excited about the peas. This is snap peas. So the whole thing is edible. We've got yellow, purple. The purple seem to be coming on really strong. And green. So, they're so delicious. Eat them raw, snack on them. These guys are awesome. Need I say more? Allison, our farm helper, put them on the table, and her kids left her just two peas. That's how good they were. They snatched them right up. So just take these along with you, eat them, snack on them. They're wonderful. A lot get eaten as we're picking. It's the honest truth. It's just one of those things that you enjoy snacking on while you're picking. All right, we've got some herbs. This week we've got some thyme. It's gotten a little overgrown, and I do suggest this makes a wonderful roasting bundle. So if you're gonna have like a whole chicken or something, you'll wanna take the rubber band off the bottom here. That's not gonna be very tasty if you cook it, but just shove this whole thing into the cavity of the bird with like an onion that's been halved. You can even take and put in like a lemon that's been halved, and just stuff that into the cavity. It'll give it lots of flavor. So there's oregano, that's the broader one here, and there's thyme. The oregano does, when you put it in water, tend to get a little bit dark. So if you see that, that's just because the oregano was in water. But both really nice flavorful herbs, and this would make a great little roasting, something to stuff and roast into a bird. So they smell really good too. Oh my goodness. I love the way the room smells so good each week as we're doing our different herbs and stuff. And of course our greens. So we've got spinach this week, and we've got lettuce, of course. So really enjoying all those fresh greens. I hope you are too. If you haven't already gotten a salad spinner, I highly suggest that. I take and tear my greens into pieces, put it in a salad spinner, and wash it, and then, you know, spin it out, and then I store that whole thing in the fridge, and whenever I want salads, it's ready to go. So those are a couple of tips and tricks for our week. We'll be posting some recipes there for you as well, and enjoy your box. It's been fun and exciting, and we've been working hard on getting all of the things planted and in and cultivated and weeded for a wonderful season ahead. So looking forward to next week, all the treasures and goodies. Enjoy, happy cooking, and definitely let me know if you have some recipes or ideas. Always love to see that. So thanks guys for stopping by. Natasha Lara Lewis with Big Rock Organics. Bye!